What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode.
Another episode. It's our first episode, my guy. How can it be another episode if it's our first one?
All right, let's start.
It's
Let's
the
start with the
first
geography.
episode with the Invertibles FC.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome to the Invertibles FC Podcast. This is our first episode. We've tried many times to record it, and some technical difficulties, some other things, but I think we've got the flow of this. So, welcome to our first episode of the podcast. Prem starts soon. We're all excited. Arman, how about you tell the people what we're going to talk about today, and also introduce yourself? I guess I'm Jay.
Yeah, I'm Armand.
I'm Keon.
Yeah, so today we're doing the first topic is going to be 3 players who need to perform big this season, based off either they're not living up to their transfer value or dip in form. But I guess each of us have 3 players that we've identified that we believe this is like a big make or break season for them. And yeah, Jay, start us off with your number 1.
Yeah, so I gotta go with my first guy. So, I'm a Liverpool guy. I'm a Liverpool fan. And last year we signed a guy named Dominic Szoboszlai, as I like to call him. He's a great player. I still think he's a very good player, but he didn't live up to the 70 million transfer fee hype that I feel like we put for him. He only had 3 goals and 2 assists in 33 matches played. Now, I don't think you can judge a player just by goals and assists. Of course, they do a lot more things, especially a center mid is going to be doing a lot more things than just scoring goals and assisting. It's about hockey assists as well, how he's spacing himself, how he's facilitating the ball, creating other chances, whatnot. So that's not everything. And I do think he created a lot of chances, but I think this guy, I mean, Szoboszlai really does need to show this season, I think, a lot, at least what he showed at RB Leipzig, which was like, or even when he plays for Hungary, which is these like amazing goals from outside the box or inside the box. He's like always threatening, and I thought that's what we were going to get from him at Liverpool. And we did see some flashes of brilliance there from him when he did that, but not enough, in my opinion. Not enough that we could have when we're tied with Man United, where when we shouldn't be. We need players like him to step up and like get us that winning goal or equalizer. So I really think he needs to have a big season this year, and I really think he will. And I think as good of a player Szoboszlai is, and as good of a manager Klopp was, I think under the Klopp system, Szoboszlai was not performing well just because of the formation we had, and we weren't really playing Szoboszlai as a true eight. So I think with Arne Slot, though he his play style is a little bit more suited, I think, for Szoboszlai. So I think he is due for a big season. I think he very much can have a big season this year. So that's my first player I'm gonna to give a shout out to that needs a big season this year. Kiana, who do you got first?
I'm having a hard time choosing who to talk about first because I think there's 2 guys for me too that stand out in terms of make or break. I'm gonna, I'm gonna mention Mason Mount first because I think he's kind of the epitome of make or break.
Mm,
In terms of Premier League and in terms of his fee and where he was at 2 years ago. That's all I mean. I don't mean in terms of like
hmm
dropping being a professional football player. But he had a disappointing fall from stardom at Chelsea. I genuinely I can't even put words together that properly explain what even happened.
Yeah,
I don't think I could explain it. I don't think I even have the
one
ability to
goal in
explain what
14
happened to him at
appearances.
Chelsea.
One goal in
And
14
then
appearances.
he comes to United, deals with some injuries in his first year, and overall just looks like a bust so far. Considering they paid decent money to get him, and uh, I do think that this year a lot of pressure on him. United doesn't necessarily seem like they're always fighting for top 4, but they didn't get it this year, and I don't know if they're going to get it next season either. And if he's not performing,
Foreshadowing to a future episode we're gonna have.
if a player like him isn't performing well, I don't think you're going to see him in Man United in my top 4. So I don't
But
know.
do you think if he doesn't have a good season this year, United's gonna sell him, or he's gonna leave, or or like
I
what do
don't
you think is gonna
know
happen?
what. I don't even know what they'd recoup for him, but I don't know how much he'd be worth to another team. I don't know if he has a future in the Premier League. Honestly, if he doesn't
Yeah.
perform, if he does, it might be for just like a lower table team. But not for United, not for like their expectations for sure. He's not top
Yeah.
four worthy. If he busted at Chelsea and does not perform at United, we might see a future where he's a Burnley player.
Yeah. Burnley. Do you think? Do you
Yeah,
think?
but
What do you think though? What do you think he needs to do to like make it like because as you said, he clearly like he was like such a good player for Chelsea. He was like one of that the like he would score in these clutch situations for
yeah,
Chelsea. And then of course like injuries, blah blah blah. But like, what do you think needs for him to happen? Is it a confidence thing? Is it a system thing? Is it under Eric Ten Hag that he's like not performing well?
I think I think Ten Hag wanted him, so I think it's really just a confidence thing. Confidence combined with the getting rid of the injury bug. So I mean, if he has his step back, we should see that Mason Mount of 2 years ago, where Chelsea actually looked kind of scary, and it was really annoying dealing with Chelsea fans online because they were actually decent, or 3 seasons
Mm,
ago even. And just that spark, that creative spark, the attacking ability, creating attacks, getting assists. Like we need to see those crosses into the box from the midfield that he used to provide. So otherwise, I mean, I'm not a Man United fan, far from it, but I don't see him lasting, and I don't really know what the fandom's going to do if he has another lousy season.
facts. Yeah.
Armand, do you want to talk about your first player?
So we're going to talk about the Arsenal legend himself, Gabriel Martinelli. 2 years
By the way,
ago,
prefacing, you're dealing with two Arsenal fans here and a Liverpool fan. That's why, of course, I'm high on
yeah,
Szoboszlai, and this guy's gonna be high on Martinelli probably.
because Martinelli 2 years ago was insane. We're talking 20 goals and assists, 15 goals, was tied for our leading goal scorer 2 years ago. And then a lot of expectations for him last year. And kind of, dealing with a little bit of injuries, a little bit of that left-hand side kind of sucking because we lost Xhaka and Zinchenko sucks. God-awful player, but hopefully he can bounce back. But, there's no – I mean, with the transfers we're bringing in with Calafiori and hopefully Mikel Moreno, they'll be able to bring Martinelli some stability on the left-hand side. But also last year, just his confidence didn't look the same. Like, I kind of blame it a little bit on the tactics, a little bit on himself, but, didn't really seem to have the same confidence when it came to taking on players. So, I mean, hopefully see that come back as well. I mean, making runs in behind. I just remember so many games, Odegaard pick up the ball in midfield, plays a darting run to him behind. So many times, he scored so many clutch goals for us. But even in his down year still last year, he scored very clutch goals. I mean, scored the winner against Man City in the 86th minute, scored the winner against Liverpool. So, still in a down year, he scored probably two of the biggest goals of our season. But in terms of
Hmm.
an overall season output, Trossard outperformed it. Trossard was probably probably was our best left winger last year, undeniably. But I think Martinelli as well. I think with more stability on his left hand side, should be able to bounce back. But he's one player that if he doesn't perform, I wouldn't be surprised to see Arsenal potentially making a big splash signing at maybe a Nico Williams, maybe a Rafael Leao, maybe that star left winger that becomes available in the transfer market.
The rumor though is
And
like Nico Williams staying, right? That's the rumor though, right?
yeah, but
For now,
For
we'll
now.
I
see.
don't think he'll stay more
The
than
thing
one more season in
with
I
Newcastle.
swear, if
with
you
where
guys get Nico
yeah
Williams, I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna be so
with where
upset. Like
with where
I don't want
yeah
Arsenal to get Nico Williams.
with where Arsenal is right now, with what we're competing for, you need brilliance, and I don't think Martinelli will settle for being a squad player like Trossard is. Well, Trossard's not settling, but Trossard's probably the epitome of an elite squad player. Comes off the bench, can start and still perform. But Martinelli is a guy that plays a lot of confidence, and I don't think his impact at Arsenal is really based on if he starts. In my opinion, I don't really see him being an impact sub player a lot,
Mm.
like for a season like Trossard. So I need a big season from him. Ken, I don't know if you agree with me on that because I just feel like Trossard's more built like a substitute player, while Martinelli's more of a guy that
Do you think it's a mentality difference though?
No, he just has the young him factor. He's
Mm.
young and he's
yeah
shown it. 2 seasons ago. He was brilliant. You said so yourself. 15 goals, 5 assists, and that's the expectation now for him. Is to live up to that season 2 years
yeah
ago. It's just that. It's simple as
yeah.
that.
I think part of it's just getting accustomed to a new system, especially with Havertz at striker. It's a different dynamic than Jesus. You can fluid in and out. But if we get Mikel Moreno, I think Gabriel Martinelli's in for a big season, especially because
Yeah,
I think that's the missing piece there. But I'm just saying, if he has another lackluster season, I wouldn't be surprised to see Arsenal be very aggressive in the left wing market, especially with I think every position is near
Do you think
set.
middle of the season, or like do you think after the end? No, he's
It'd be
definitely
end.
an Arsenal. Yeah,
The way that they're attacking the market is just with floor raising. So that's what I'm saying. I think this season's really going to show Arsenal where they need those elite players, and I think that's what they're missing. Whether that's as a left winger or striker, but they're missing that, especially in the Champions League where you need those minutes of madness. I think Martinelli can be that guy for us. I mean, he produced so many great moments, but that's what I'm saying. If he doesn't perform at an elite level, I wouldn't be surprised to see Arsenal spend really big in the transfer market for a left winger
that's fair.
to provide some competition. But that's my first player that I think's in a make or break season. But I'll back him to have it.
Fair enough.
All right, Jay, who's your second player?
Second player, I'm gonna go with a Chelsea guy. And coming off the World Cup last year, this guy was hyped. He was all the rage, and big money was spent for Chelsea to bring him in. You guys can probably guess his name, Enzo Fernandez. This guy honestly has been disappointing. I mean, Chelsea itself has been disappointing, but I'm not trying to piss off Chelsea fans right now. Um, and this guy has 3 goals, 2 assists in 28 matches played for Chelsea. I mean, you see how good of a player he was for Argentina. I mean, like he wasn't. I mean, he only put up a goal and an assist in the World Cup, but they were like timely. But he was playing a lot better. That's why he went for such big money, 107 million euros. That's crazy. And for Chelsea, just dropped the ball. I mean, and yeah, I think if Enzo Fernandez is not doing much this season for Chelsea, and I really think actually like pretty optimistic about Chelsea's season this year because of like what they showed towards the latter half of last season. A lot of their players were coming into groove and stuff like that. But I don't know. That's another topic of conversation. But yeah, I think he needs to perform. Like if you're gonna pay that much money for someone, and regardless of the money, he is a good player. He's shown it. But at the club level for Chelsea, he's not been that good. He needs to be scoring more goals. He needs to be taking on like defenders, creating these chances. He's a flashy player. He needs to show some of that flash, I think. So, yeah, I really think Enzo Fernandez, it's a make or break season for him. He needs a big season this year. And what do I think a big season is? Honestly, not even much. I think even if he doubled like 2.5 times his output, like maybe 6, 7 goals, I mean, Cole Palmer is like as like Chelsea established, like he's the big goal scorer for Chelsea. Maybe he can continue that. But a game where maybe it's the Derby weekend, Palmer's like getting bottled up by Arsenal, like and Enzo Fernandez comes in and scores like that. I think that's the type of like games he needs for maybe to build a confidence and make a season for him. So I really think Enzo Fernandez, he's due for a season. He needs it. If not, I don't know what Chelsea would do with him. I think they have too much money, so I don't know if they're going to keep him or sell him. I'm not familiar as much with Chelsea's thing, but yeah, yeah. Do you guys agree? What do you? I don't know if you guys.
That's fair. I definitely don't think he was one of their worst players or anything by any means,
I don't
but
think so.
his stats were lacking, and Chelsea in general were lacking.
Yeah,
That's fair. He's like probably one of the keys for them to play well. He's
yeah,
probably one of their 2 or 3 best players. Um, yeah,
yeah,
fair.
yeah. Kian, who you got? Who you got second?
So my other make or break player that I think is like very, very, very make or break, is Calvin Phillips.
Mm,
He's, he showed that he's a good Premier League player on Leeds United. And then he was a Gareth Southgate favorite for England for a while. And then he goes on loan he gets bought by City, underperforms, doesn't get a minute, like the whole, or not, I'm exaggerating, but he barely plays all season. Gets himself a loan to West Ham this past season. And still just nothing. I mean, there's high expectations for him. The talent is somewhere there. How many times does City make a mistake? I hate to say it, but rarely do they buy
mm-hmm,
a player and it's a huge mistake.
mm-hmm.
They have a few. They have a few. I mean, even you could argue Nunes this past year like didn't really live up to the whatever 40, 45 million they paid for him. But there's a player there, and I don't know what's going on. But clearly, there's a player there. I think Everton and Villa are fighting for his signature right now on loan from City.
Mm-hmm.
I think he wants to be sold. Yeah, I think Everton would be the better fit for him this season, but I do think it's make or break. If he can't solidify himself as a starter or a key contributor, a key player at the very least, I don't I don't know I just don't know what his future looks like in the Premier
Yeah.
League at the very least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I honestly wasn't paying much attention to him, I feel like, but I feel like he was doing really, really well. There were like high expectations for him, but
Yeah.
he's
Oh man,
been
I don't know if you guys saw, he already has like a low light in the preseason for City right now because they're in the US, I think, and
yeah, what did he
he
do?
he just turned the ball over in his like own box basically, and they
Oh,
almost, I think they were playing Fluminense or I don't remember whoever they played the other day,
Oh,
and
AC Milan.
maybe I don't were they playing Milan, whoever they played like just a couple days ago or yesterday. Yeah, that was. I mean, it's just sad. People are just. I mean, the internet's just gonna pick on him from now on. But when you get big lowlights like that,
is he for
it's just not
sure? Is he?
great for confidence.
So I know he's on City right now, but do we not see him on City like at the start of the season? Like
No,
maybe
no,
Aston. Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
not.
Okay.
No, they're bidding for him. They want him on loan. I guess he wants to like leave on permanent departure. I don't know. It's just rumors, but
Yeah.
Everton and Villa are both vying for his signature. I hope Everton gets. I think he could maybe do something there under
Mm.
Sean. Armand, your second player.
Yeah, my second player is Mr. MB Marcus Rashford. Honestly, even though I'm an Arsenal fan, I always have like I don't know. I love a lot of United's players,
He's a
and Rashford's
stand-up
probably
lad.
one of them.
He's a stand-up lad. He's a stand-up
Rashford
lad.
post World Cup, Rashford was honestly probably like a top two winger in the world at the time. Like he was insane in the Europa League against Barcelona. I mean, he had 22 goals and assists 2 years ago in the Prem. But yeah, he was honestly post World Cup one of the best left wingers, probably the best left winger in the Prem, probably top three in the world easily. But last year, injuries, form, kind of dropped off a little bit with 7 goals and 2 assists. So I think this is a big year for him to kind of bounce back. He was left out of the England squad because of it, which he shouldn't have been regardless because he's honestly probably one of the best players. I mean, he's exactly what England needs, and I think
Mm-hmm.
his form last year is the reason he was left off the squad. But I think part of
Mm-hmm.
his form is just due to like overall play of United as well.
Yeah,
Like when you
I
think of
agree.
United, outside of Bruno Fernandes, there wasn't really a player that really stood out to me. Like wow, but this year I expect a big season from Rashford. I mean, um, I think a lot of it had to do with his confidence as well. Like Martinelli, just it's a confidence. But I think Rashford's due for a big season. I think especially with a more balanced midfield and an actual striker every game, like not playing McTominay as a striker. I think that's going to help a lot as well. I think with better squad depth as well up top, to actually develop a relationship with a striker because it's kind of tough to
Mm-hmm.
play with a Hoyland and then you're playing with like McTominay as a false nine. I mean, it doesn't really work out. You have constant shifting, dynamics in midfield. It's tough to play. Not to mention Luke Shaw and Tyler Malacia are out, so
Yeah.
you're most random. So like obviously, kind of like on the same boat as like Martinelli. I mean, it's just kind of tough when you have constant combinations. But I think Rashford needs to bounce back because he's probably one of United's best players on his day, but also
Yeah.
just in terms of his career, his future for the national team as well. With the World Cup coming up in 2 years, he needs to have a big year. So I'm banking on Marcus
Yeah.
Rashford.
Yeah, I think Shaw's back now, and Malacia should be back in
What's
a
crazy
little
is
bit.
the 22-23 season he had 17 goals. And which is crazy. And then also like he also had like Champions League goals and not Champions League, Europa League goals and then an FA Cup goal. But last season, like yeah. And yeah, I don't know. Call me crazy, but I honestly think he's not gonna. I'm gonna make a prediction. I know there's a make or break that he needs to, but I don't think he's gonna step up. To be honest, with all like, especially with Kobe Mainu playing the way he is, I think he's might be taking some of that playmaking ability away from Rashford. I think they might be because Mainu is like an incredible talent, so I think they're gonna be relying on him more than like what Rashford used to like come into play. But that's just my opinion. So
No, I mean, it could unlock him. It could do the opposite of what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
They
that's
should
also
be able
true.
to coexist. Those two should be able to coexist just fine. It's really just can he stay injury free and is he gonna step up and get back to the player we've seen him be before?
Yeah.
And honestly, like a lot of his performances are because United in general are having bad performances. I don't know if I could, pin their troubles just on him. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, they
Yeah.
beat City in the last game of the season, right? So and they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
pick up.
I agree. I agree with you. I don't think Manu would take anything away from Rashford.
I
If
don't think
anything,
he's
to
gonna.
help him, because it's like
Yeah.
if as long as they have I honestly a Mano, Bruno, Mount midfield, as unbalanced as it would be, would probably open up so much things for Rashford in terms of running in behind and the playmaking ability.
But Manu was
I think
playing
it'll
so well. Manu was playing so well already, kind of like towards the latter half of the season. But Rashford still
yeah, but
wasn't playing that well.
well, it's because Manu was like their probably only consistent player in midfield, so it's
Are
a
you
little
saying so? Then I
difficult.
say so. Maybe Rashford's also like success lies in like these other players also playing as well.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
saying. Manu's a standout player, but the rest of that team was
Yeah,
not
no,
very good.
yeah. It's more like a star in the midfield just started shining for them at the end of the season. And he's
Yeah,
young and
Yeah.
like everyone
Yeah.
hyper focused on him, and he was exciting. Like he was just new and exciting. It was a shiny toy in the United stale 11. So yeah, big season ahead for him.
Yeah.
Jay, it's your turn, right, for your third
Yeah.
player?
yeah.
Yeah. My
Okay.
last player. And my last player, he's a defender. So I think it's hard for me to quantify. Like I guess like everyone has different opinions about what makes a defender
Oh,
better because it's not as like
You mean
clear
you
cut.
mean
oh,
Not
you,
sorry, not a
you mean a
defender. Sorry,
CDM?
I see like a defensive midfielder. My fucking god, I'm so stupid. A defensive midfielder. But I'm saying like he's not as a midfield. Some midfielders are like better at goal scoring or like assisting or creating chances for like versus like a CDM is going to be more back and trying to like take more defensive positioning. So my last player that I think does need to be a make or break season. It's a Tottenham guy. I think Basuma. Um, you know, Even though he is, as I said, a defensive midfielder, he had 0 goals, 0 assists in 28 matches played. So I even though like even if you're a defensive rolling player, you're still in the midfield. I think at least seeing a few assists there, like even if you're not scoring goals, I think is needed, especially for Tottenham. Tottenham's another team that I think with their new coaching change and whatnot, it could unlock Basuma. I think whatever they were playing last season, maybe it wasn't working for him. So and yeah, I mean like he still like defensively wasn't bad at all. Like he had 80 tackles, like 65% tackle rate, which I think is pretty good actually. But he wasn't blocking many shots and stuff like that. But I'm not watching a lot of Tottenham games to be honest. But I still think I don't know when I've seen Tottenham play against some of these big name teams, I've seen a lot of people be like, "Hey, Basuma needs to do better here," or Basuma needs to like find this guy maybe even he has the ball coming out of their back third. So I really think I was thinking about it. I'm like, what could make Tottenham a top four team this year because they were right there last season. And I think a player like Bissouma playing better, creating some chances to like when you have players like Son and stuff, even like a long ball or stuff like that. He has it in him. I mean, he has the skill. So yeah, I think my last player, I think make or break for me is gonna be Bissouma.
it's fair.
Yeah,
I don't really have much to say about Basuma, but
yeah,
no AFCON this year, so
yeah,
luckily
Yeah.
he gets a full season.
yeah.
Hmm.
I
Same with
guess
Salah.
what was it? Yeah, it was this year. Yeah. So I mean that should all help. I feel the same way about Tomiyasu and some other uh, players. You know,
Is that your last player? I'm
There's-
kidding.
no. So
No, I'm kidding.
my last player, it's not a make or break per se, but to me, in terms of his contract and what Newcastle paid for him, and what happened with his 10-month suspension, I just want to highlight
Mm,
Sandro here. You know, speaking of CDMs, I think he's one of the best in the Premier League on paper. I think he should translate well from Serie A to the Prem. We didn't get to see too much of him last season. I forget how many games he played. Probably should have looked that up. But he was suspended pretty early in the season, and was it November, I believe, or late October? Um, and it looks like he's going to be back in time for their September fixtures, which is really exciting because I think rest does a lot of good to the body when you're a professional athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming he stayed in shape and stuck to some routines on the training grounds, I think it's going to be really exciting because I
Yeah.
mean, I'm no athlete, but when I take a break for 3-4 weeks from playing my favorite couple sports, I feel like a whole new person. Like it's crazy.
Mm.
So, like coming
Yeah.
off this like best playing super intense Premier League soccer, Champions League football, any kind of European competition. Uh, he needs to hit the ground running and justify what they paid for him, what they invested in him, especially since Newcastle obviously didn't do as well last season without him. It's a big deal for sure because last season could be looked as a failure for a lot of Newcastle fans. It should be, and obviously they were in a tough Champions League group, but they need to hit the ground running this season and get back to that like top four level because
Yeah.
they invested a lot into the squad. Obviously, there's a country funding them. We don't want to get into it now, but that in consideration, like they definitely need to be competing for top four, and last season was a
Yeah.
huge. So Tonali is the key to that. I think
With all the money they
he's like
have,
he's like a new signing for them, right? So
Mhm.
that'll be great. I like watching him play. He's definitely part of Hanson FC. So it'll be great to see what he can contribute there in Newcastle this season.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I feel that way. I feel you on like the break thing, when I'm playing Rocket League and that's a sport too. And I'm kidding, that's a joke.
Yeah.
And I take that 3 week, and I take that 3 week break, man. I'm hitting those aerials way better. I'm flip setting way better. Like, yeah,
Or,
it's an
or when you're
e-sport.
playing
It's
with
an e-sport. It's an
a
e.
yeah, or when you're playing with a righty and you give him a 3 week break and play with a
Yeah.
lefty.
All right.
All right, Armand, your last player.
Yeah, staking on my left wing theme. My final player is Mikhailo Mudryk, who was signed
That's a good
2
one.
years ago. 2 years
That's a
ago
good one.
in the December transfer window. Wanted to go to Arsenal. I mean, he was on his hands and knees for Arsenal.
You want everyone
He
to go to
was.
Arsenal. Let's be real here.
No, he was. He would. Oh no, he was.
I
But
know,
he
I
literally
know
was
that,
mentioned.
but I'm just saying
He was
that
twerking.
phrase
He was
has
twerking.
that phrase has relevance
But
when you're like Mbappe's
but
coming to Arsenal.
He was
but
twerking.
I mean, being at Chelsea, it's been 3 different managers now in 1.5 seasons. Crazy.
Yeah.
So no real consistency there. But even when he's played, I mean, I remember when he came on against Liverpool, he beat like 4 guys and like almost scored, and I was like, holy shit, this guy might actually be like the next big thing. And then he kind of just like sucked, and then he'll score like 2 weeks in a row, and you're like, oh, he's back, and then he'll suck. But like when he plays for Ukraine, he's actually like he looks really good. Like he looks like the player he was at Shakhtar Donetsk, whatever that team is called, back in Ukraine. But there's a player there, and I mean, he's when he has a confidence, when you see his highlights of Shakhtar with Ukraine, when he's on the ball, it's scary. I mean, he's running at you like with pace, with intention. He was really good, and that's, I mean, 80 mil for him. Like that's another reason why he's on this, is like his transfer fee is insane considering the output he has on the pitch, and obviously he hasn't scored or assisted a lot, but even then, I mean, when he's played, I haven't been too impressed. Like there hasn't been any performances when he's like hasn't scored or assisted where I've come away like, damn, he actually played good. Like there's certain players, like I was telling Jay about Havertz. Like even though Havertz wasn't scoring or assisting, you saw what he's doing with his off-ball movement. There's times where I can just appreciate that and say, okay, he had a decent match. But with Mudryk, I just feel like part of it's with the coaching changes he's had, and he's never really had a set starting lineup. It doesn't help when you have a bunch of injuries as well, which as Chelsea's had, and a bunch of signings. I mean, that club's just very poorly ran in general with the amount of signings they have and the coaching changes and all that. I understand why you're trying to do that's a topic for another time. But hopefully this year, I mean, I would love to see a front 3 or especially like a front 4 of like Palmer sitting in that 10 role, Jackson. Oh, it's kind of tough. They have Nkunku too. Maybe like Palmer on right wing, and Kunku kind of sitting back, Nicholas Jackson and Mudryk. I mean, with the pace that you have there, and especially with the brilliance of Cole Palmer, I think that's something that could, seeing him running behind defenders or taking defenders on is something where he's at his best. But we've yet to see that in the Prem at a consistent level. So I think he's in for a make or break year, especially with all the incomings Chelsea have. They're buying a fucking 2007 born player every other fucking day. So, time's ticking, and hopefully he can perform and make Chelsea lose their money.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think Mudryk, honestly, he's shown, like you said, he's shown flashes and not much more. Very inconsistent play. You said he's been good for the national team. I think so too, from what limited footage I've seen of Ukraine play, and I think I watched one of their Euro games live.
I don't think he was too good in the Euros.
But he wasn't too good in the Euros. Yeah.
Yeah, I think qualifying or friendlies, he's normally been pretty solid.
Sure. I've just seen him playing consistently, even for Ukraine, is what I was going to say. But obviously, look, the flashes of brilliance are there. Arteta hasn't really gotten too many players wrong. Very, very few. And most of the ones that I can think of that he maybe got wrong are still the jury's still out. So if he wanted Mudryk, and Edie wanted the Arsenal, the whole coaching staff wanted Mudryk. There's a talent there, and I trust them, and I see it myself. I mean, you can see it. You see it. He had that one. Was it an own goal against Arsenal? It ended up being, but he kind of just
no, he tried to cross it.
He tried to cross it and went it. But even that play was nice. Like leading up to the accidental goal, even that play was nice. I don't know, but then he'll sky across. It's just unbelievable. He's just missing consistency in his finishing touch. Whether it's a cross or a shot, he's missing this consistency, and it's just I don't know. You obviously you see great players miss shots all the time, but he's not a great player yet, and he really needs to start hitting them at a higher rate. Yeah, his accuracy needs to go up. So jury's out, and that's a great final make or break.
Sure. Second segment of the podcast now. Our players, we each have two players we're talking about.
Whoa. Before we move to the second segment of the podcast, we did this last time we recorded, but I was going to give a trivia question that we're going to...
My fault, OG.
Nice little question for you guys.
My fault, OG. All right, let's see it.
Okay, last time we discussed, we didn't record again, I know, but last time we discussed transfer, and it was low-key a banger question. So this one, it's a little bit easier, but around the subject of Prem and Prem rankings and whatnot. So it's a two-part question. Can you name the 3 teams that were relegated last season, and then the 3 teams that were promoted for this season in alphabetical order?
Oh. Alphabetical order?
Don't say it. What? It's 3 teams. It's 3 teams. You can alphabet.
Oh wait.
Not all together. I'm saying let's first say the 3 teams that were relegated. Yes. Yeah, let's say 3 that were relegated first.
Hold up. I gotta think about who was relegated. Wait, I know 2.
I got the 3 relegation ones, and I
forget the team that finished in 19th place. That's the problem. It's literally the 3 teams that came up.
Okay, I got mine. I got all 6.
Okay,
I just wrote it all down.
Okay.
Wait, I don't have.
You not
all right,
okay?
Here, let me go first because I know I'm missing a relegation team.
Since we're doing
Bro, I forgot the team that finished in 19th.
Ding! I hit the buzzer first.
Well, I'm saying I'm cooked.
Okay. Armand, you give your 3 first. Armand, you give your no. Let Armand give his 3 first, and just name a third. If you don't have a third team, whatever, just name one. And then we'll go, and then we'll hear Keon's.
Give me 10. Give me 15 seconds.
Okay.
He's gonna get it.
I got it.
Okay.
All right, man. Well, the teams that were relegated last year.
Okay.
All right. In order. Burnley,
yes.
Luton, Sheffield.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct. Is that what you had, Keon?
Yeah, I have it written down.
Okay, no, I believe you. All right, so the 3 teams that were promoted. Do you guys have Armand, do you know the 3 teams that were promoted?
Yeah, I'm going to take this one. Fuck you.
Take this one.
Okay.
It's Ipswich Town, Leicester, and Southampton.
Yes, that is great. That is good.
I actually had.
Is that what you had?
I was forgetting Sheffield, but I actually watched that. I just remembered. I was trying to remember which teams Arsenal killed, and I remember that 4-0, like 5-0 trashing. We scored 4 goals in 23 minutes against Sheffield. That's how I remembered it.
So, fun fact. I mean, this is the only the trivia question. So it was much easier, but it's still fun to talk about. But fun fact: this is the first time since 1997 that the three teams that were relegated were the three teams that were promoted the season before. So Burnley, Luton, and Sheffield were promoted last season, and they only spent.
Yeah.
They were the same three teams that got relegated this year.
Wait,
So
you're
since
saying that's the first time since when?
1997-98 season that
It's
that
been
happened.
that long since that's happened? It's
Yeah. So
like that's crazy because it's like I thought it was common.
no, no. So, well, no, usually at least one team that gets promoted stays in the Prem. Like they'll get above the
Like
seven, eight,
Bournemouth,
the eight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bournemouth. Luton
but
really should have stayed up. They choked us so many games. I
yeah,
really, yeah, but it is what it
Dude,
is.
I remember the season that Brighton came up like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. When Brighton came up, they had a decent season and then they only got better and better and better and they're just that's the model that all these
we got Jamie
championship clubs
Vardy
need to
back in the
follow.
Prem, boys. We got corner kicking flag. Jamie
Feels
Vardy
bad.
back in the Prem, boys. I hope Jamie Vardy breaks Arsenal's heart so that Liverpool can win the Prem next season. All right, moving on.
Since
Um,
8 years.
okay, boys. Yes, as Armand was saying, the second segment of the show,
Best
we're
indeed.
we're gonna title it investing. We're gonna invest. Players. I mean, of course, they're human beings, but as an asset, they're stocks that we're buying into. We're gonna invest. We want to maximize their money here. So we have two players each that we are going to invest in for this next season because we think they're going to be. We have high hopes for them. And this is a little bit different from the last season because we're like, okay, they really need to step it up. We don't know if they're going to. This one is like, we believe in this player. We're investing in them. We think they're going to be good. So I'll go first.
Mhm.
My first player. This it's a little bit disappointing to say this player because well, so it was because I wanted him at Liverpool last season. Then he didn't come to Liverpool. Then he was really, really bad. And I was like so glad that he wasn't at Liverpool. But now he's really turned it around, and I think he's going to be really good for this team next season. It's Moises Caicedo for Chelsea. I was already seeing a lot of good flashes from him towards like the last 6, 7 games in the Chelsea season when they were just fighting to be top six or whatever top eight. Or they weren't even fighting for much, but he played really well, I think. And then in the Euros,
Euros,
yes,
Euros.
Euros. I meant Copa. In Copa, he played really well as well. So I
What
really
country does he
think
play for?
uh, I forgot now. I know this. I really don't know this. I don't know who Caicedo plays for. What?
He
It says
plays
for
for.
France. I-
Bro,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke. I literally just said it's Copa America, and I said France, my guy. That's
no,
a joke.
you just broke under pressure. It was not a joke. You were so
No,
serious when you said it.
no, I didn't. No, I
There's
didn't.
no
No,
sarcasm
no,
in your
no,
eyes.
I
What are you
didn't. Well,
talking?
yes, there was.
Hey,
What are you on
You
about?
just
Okay, no,
saw a
I got this.
reaction.
No, I got this. I got this. I know it's a South America team or Latin team. I'm gonna go with Ecuador. That's what I'm gonna go
Bro
with.
looked it up on his laptop. He has it open right now.
No way. No
Show
way.
your
No
screen.
way.
Show your
How do
screen.
you want me to show my
Show your
screen?
phone or
How do you want me to
show
show my
something.
screen? I'm literally on the dock that we have.
He looked it up
I'm
and he
done.
like
I'm
did
done.
this like
I'm done
casual
with.
look away
No,
thing.
no,
He
no.
has it
I'm
up.
done.
He went
No,
like
I
this.
don't. No, I
Let me
don't.
think.
No, I
I'm
don't.
gonna
No,
go
I
with
don't.
Ecuador.
I was
No,
like,
I'm.
Bro looked
all
it
right,
up for sure.
all right, continue.
Go ahead.
I'm done with this. I'm done with this game.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Armand.
Oh, it's mine.
Is it you? Yeah, let's go.
All right,
uh,
my first buy. This is like when you're like an initial investor in like Apple back in like 2003, whenever the company was created. You want to get your stocks nice and slow, like an Nvidia. That's actually a better one, Nvidia. Because all their software developers are like millionaires now, so they have a shortage of engineers. Okay, my fault. Ethan Nwari is my first player, 17 years old, and the reason why I'm buying stock in him is because the whole Arteta hates youth is fake, and I think the fact that we're signing Mikel Moreno proves to me that in 2 to 3 years he thinks Ethan Nwari can take over that left 8 role and be a bona fide starter for Arsenal, and he's only 17, so that means he'll be starting for probably a three-time Premier League winning club and two-time Champions League winning club in 3 years. Arsenal at 20 years old, and I don't think a lot of people can say that. But I mean, he's already showed a lot of flashes in preseason. I mean, just got an assist against United, but even then, when you're talking about a player who's at the 8 that can turn, take players on the byline, good vision, was really good for the youth team. Can play on the wing as well, which I'd honestly would like to see him play on the right wing as a Saka backup. But if the left 8 is where you can see him playing, I think he could be really, really good there, especially with, he's kind of a low center of gravity, so he can move around in tight spaces. And I think learning from a player like Mikel Moreno, who's, a lot of people on Twitter have said he's been a consistent one of the best midfielders in La Liga. So, I mean, you're learning from one of those guys, learning under Odegaard and Arteta. I think the sky's the limit for him, and I think it's only the beginning for he'll probably be the next Haaland talent to become an elite Arsenal player. So that's my first buy. Keon, what about you?
Yeah, that's a great shout. I agree with everything you said. He's gonna be great. My first one, I'm going to the beaches of Brighton for this one.
Beaches of Brighton.
Oh yeah.
Incredible pull.
I got Facundo Buenanote, right winger.
Wait,
I watched.
My guess is coming. What's up?
What country does Buenanote play for?
I don't know this. I literally do not
Yeah,
know this.
neither do I.
I think it's actually like
it's Honduras, right? Or Ecuador?
well,
He was born in
I think
Argentina. No, that's
yeah,
different.
because his last name's Italian, but I don't know if he's actually Italian.
He just scored a goal in the.
He's
Oh
born in
yeah,
Argentina. He's Argentinian.
he's Argentinian. Yeah, that makes sense. They have a
Oh
lot.
shit! I didn't even know that.
It's like George.
This
It's
is
like
gonna, this is gonna become a this is gonna become a segment on the show. Jay and countries. I swear to God.
Jorginho. So Jorginho is Brazilian,
Brazil.
but he plays for
Yeah.
Italy's national team. So it's like they got South America and Europe got their ties.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going though. Why you were gonna?
Yeah. So he's 19 years old. He doesn't even turn point to like midway through the season. He's got really elite dribbling and composure on the ball. Brighton's my second favorite team, so I actually watched him a few times last season just for fun. Just tuned into some Brighton games. Honestly, he impressed me. I think I also probably saw some of his best games, or a couple of the games I watched were. But he played. I mean, he's 19 and he's looking real good. I think he could be a star for Brighton. I really do. He still needs to work on his finishing touch. Essentially, it looks like I think he had like 3-4 goals for them maybe 4 or 5 goals for them last season. I should have checked. I think maybe 5. He's honestly like he's got the whole package. He just needs that touch finishing in the box. Because watching him dribble, watching him recover on defense, to help out, phenomenal right winger. He really is, and the sky's the limit for him. I think he'll get a big transfer in a couple of years, maybe even in a season or two. But Brighton's a good place for him right now, and they're in a good spot to honestly fight for top 5.
If I'm a youngster and I have you think Brighton's a top 5 team?
I said if they can stay healthy, I think Brighton can definitely
There's
fight
no
for the top
way.
5.
You're smoking the rah-rah.
If they stay healthy, they're them. They're them.
You're telling me they're gonna, dude? That's what I thought last season, and then there's
They lost like 6 of their best players to injuries. Literally, like 6 or 7 of their best players. It was insane, and they still finished in the top 11 or 12. I don't remember they finished.
Yeah,
that should have been your trivia question. Listing the standings.
Where did Brighton?
No, listing the standings of last season.
No one would have got. That's too volatile. That's 20 places. That's too volatile.
I think we could have done a decent job. It's just the middle and the.
Okay, fine. But we can ask the. Anyway, okay. Well.
That's my first pick. So.
Okay.
Back to you, Jay.
I will give my second player. I really believe in this player. I'm still very hyped about this player. It's the youngster. He plays for the best club in the world, Liverpool. It's my guy, Connor Bradley.
What country does he play for?
He plays for England, and he doesn't play for them because he's not good enough to be on the team. Okay, I hate you. He's born in the UK.
Actually?
Yes. He's
Dude, he's
English.
Irish.
He's literally from Liverpool. He's literally like
He plays for Northern Ireland.
he's Irish. He was born in the UK.
I was
Wait,
literally
is
gonna
he?
say I'm pretty sure he's Irish, and then I just looked it up, and he is Irish.
No way, Connor. Bro.
What?
I thought he
Do you
was.
know what the
He plays.
UK is? Do you know what the
That's true.
UK is?
Yeah,
What is wrong with you?
Bro, this is
Bro,
crazy.
I'm sending
Bro,
this guy back to geography. He can't be on another podcast with us till he's taking a fucking geography, middle
bro.
school geography class. What?
Yo,
Why didn't I
I
call that
got.
out sooner? You said that like 4 times
I
before
don't,
I said
dude.
something.
I don't know why. I know the UK is
Yeah, he
not
said, he
just
said, he said, he
England.
said.
I
This is
know
what he
the
said. This
UK
is what he
is
said.
not just England.
Yeah,
I
Bro,
know
he's
this
born
is
in
this.
the
what.
UK.
I
Yeah, bro.
know.
He plays for Liverpool. He's English. He's English.
I thought. I know he was on
All
the
right, just
Liverpool Academy and stuff.
Bro, he even
I
looks
forgot.
Irish. And
bro,
He
give
does.
your damn explanation.
I'm done with this. I'm just getting cooked, man. I'm literally getting cooked, man. I'm literally, I swear I'm not dumb. I just, I don't try to memorize every single country everyone's from unless like I care about them. I could
on the
name,
bright side,
I could name most every player like that Liverpool starts with country.
All right, no one cares. Just fucking give your explanation. Jesus, my fault.
Fuck you. I'm done with this. Fuck you guys. You know what? Connor Bradley is, I don't care what fucking country he plays for. Whoever country he plays for, he's going to be a star because right now, like when Trent was out, this guy, like literally his goal, I think it was against Chelsea that he scored. Just a beautiful goal. And he had 3 assists, 1 goal, 3 assists in 11 games for a 20-year-old youngster. I think he's so good. I don't think he's better than Trent by any means, and that's what I mean. Trent, of course, is going to be starting over him, but I don't know. I don't know what Arnie's thought is have in mind. I know there's been like some rumors where Trent maybe not be in the RB, maybe he's the inverted fullback, and then maybe there's room for Bradley to come on. But I'm investing in Bradley because I think he's going to be getting a lot more minutes. That's getting subbed on for Trent, especially if Trent's not having a great game, and I think he can really make a difference. He can be the sub that makes that pass or assist for that goal to Salah or the guy making the score. But I really do like him. I really do. So yeah, that's my second player I'm investing in. So yeah. Show out
Yeah,
one young Irish man. Apparently, God, I just hate my life.
yeah. It's also a good investment because Trent's gonna leave on free to Real Madrid next year, so he'll probably be their starting right back.
Man, we need to talk about that one day because I honestly think that actually is going to happen.
All
Because
right,
unless yeah,
all right. So we're gonna talk about Mikey Moore, nice little Tottenham lad. Even though I hate them, but this guy is really good, and I really only put him on here because I've really been put on him in the last like 2 months because of Twitter. And I think in terms of investing in stocks, you're talking about buying them at the bare minimum, and that's what you're getting with both of my players. A guy was elite at the youth level, 29 goals and assists in 22 games, and you want to talk about a complete package. Just based off stats alone, 17 goals, 12 assists. It's a very balanced striker. Very kind of Harry Kane esque stats in a way. Like goal to game ratios elite, and assisting as well at a pretty high percentage of games, over half. So when you're talking about a team that's missing that kind of Harry Kane playmaking, which I think was actually very underestimated in that Tottenham team. They tried to play Son at the 9, Richarlison at the 9, and I think what they were really missing was the fact that Harry Kane used to drop so deep into midfield, pick that ball up, and play Son and play. I don't even know who the right winger was, over the top, or coming back deep and then really advancing the ball. And I think Son's at his best on the wing. I don't think Richarlison's really that type of link of striker. I think he's more of a pure finisher. And I think Mikey Moore, even though he's 16, will have a role to play in Tottenham's season, whether it's coming, I think, more off the bench. But I think definitely in these Carabao Cup and FA Cup games, you'll definitely get to see what people have dubbed kind of like a Harry Kane regen through their academy. And I think at 16, it'll be hard to play a big role for a team the team like Tottenham that's trying to compete for top 4 and eventually compete for some titles. But so far in the preseason, he's had 6 goal contribution in 4 games. So obviously he's been playing with the big dogs and he's been performing at a very elite level. But I think maybe this year in Cups and maybe years to come, he'll actually have a really big impact in terms of hopefully never helping Tottenham win a trophy, but getting ever so close. So that's my
hmm
second player.
yeah. I don't think
right on.
Tottenham's winning a trophy. Tottenham's not winning a trophy this year, man.
I don't think they will either, but I think they'll probably win a trophy in the next like 2 years,
In the
unfortunately.
next 2 years. So if not this next season, then the season after. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm rooting
Keon,
against them, man. I don't even want to hear about it. I
All
hate
right,
talking about
they're
Tottenham.
cursed. They're
all right.
cursed. They have Harry Kane stayed there so
Stinky,
long that they're cursed. Still, they're gonna be cursed forever.
stinky.
They, what
My
do we
second
think of
player,
Tottenham?
my second player is already a rising star in the Premier League, but I think
Safe
this year he
pick.
takes
Safe
it to
pick.
the next year he takes it to that next level. I'm rolling with Mohamed Kudus, 23-year-old attacking midfield. He plays left winger at West Ham, I believe. 23-year-old. I said that. He's almost 24, but
What
he's
what
but he's
what
him.
country?
He's
What
him.
country does he play for, Keon?
He plays for Ghana, I want to say. Yeah, he plays for
Dang
Ghana.
it! God dang it,
Yeah.
Huh?
man.
But you guys can't see this, but Jay was highlighting his name and putting it into his fucking Google search bar to see what country he
I
played
didn't know.
for.
I didn't know what. I didn't know what country he played for. I don't know. Like, why
Yeah,
would?
yeah.
Yeah,
I know
Ghana.
my, I know my guys. I know my guys. I'm a little more elite than you, Jay. You
Okay, you
really
know
don't know.
what? Just
You don't know the ball, so
I.
uh, you're
That's
struggling,
that's
but
not even a line.
you're not gonna rub your juju off on me, Jay. I'm ready for all your questions. So,
I'm gonna
anyways,
get you
impressive
on
first year
this.
West Ham. I don't have much to say. I really think he's big time, and he showed it this year. He was even better in the second half of the season. I want to say he's a big time player, and I really do think he's going to be a Prem star this season. And I think if they had an All Star game, he'd be in it. That's my
Yeah,
prediction for this season with West Ham.
love to hear it.
Dang.
No
I think
AFCON,
no
No
Afcon.
AFCON.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
so kudos.
Kudos.
Great player. I
Man.
wanted him at Arsenal.
Yeah.
He would rock. He would rock at Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah.
Facts. Factos.
Okay. Well, I think
Hey,
that's all we had planned for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you guys want to roast me more on where players are from countries, which apparently I do not
oh,
know.
there's plenty of time for that in future episodes.
Yeah. All right. I'll give one more test.
Okay.
Where is trying to think of it. Trying to think of like fucking Liverpool player. Yeah, I can't think of one. All right, we'll ask him next time.
All right.
Oh, where's Adrian from? Your backup goalkeeper that just left.
I actually don't know this either. Okay, I know Alisson
Yeah,
from
I don't.
Brazil. I know.
I don't know either. I'm pretty sure Adrian's Spanish though, right?
He might be Spanish. I
Uh,
don't know.
What is
I
he?
don't know that one either.
I'm gonna search it up.
Yeah, he's Spanish.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, anyways,
Okay, well,
my
well,
next episode, Jay will know countries and tournaments
Real
and
Betis.
I still
teams.
have one last trivia question for you guys at the end of
Real.
end of the
Real.
episode.
Oh
Um,
yeah, okay, let's hear it.
okay,
Another one.
yes, okay. So this is about last season. Okay, um, who who became the youngest Premier League striker to score in 6 consecutive matches, aged 21 years and younger? 14, like back in like February.
Oh,
I can give you four op. Do we want a multiple choice?
Dude, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Yeah, I need four
Okay,
options.
uh,
I'm gonna give four choices, and you guys. Do you want me to give you choices, or do you know this?
yeah.
Yeah.
Say it. I think I know, but you
Okay.
say it. Say four choices.
Okay.
And
Alexander
yeah,
Isak, Hoyland, Rasmus Hoyland, Ollie Watkins, or Chris Wood.
Chris Wood is already out of here. Holy shit, that
it was
motherfucker's
it
like
was it
30.
was Ollie Watkins. It was Ollie Watkins.
Okay. What, Armand, is that who you think too?
Dude, I don't know if Watkins is young enough. Fuck. I think it's part of me wants to say Hoyland. I remember he went on like crazy goal scoring streak. I'm gonna go Hoyland.
No,
You're
no,
gonna
no.
go Hoyland.
Wait. Watkins isn't young enough, actually. Um,
I'm gonna go Hoyland. I think Hoyland. I remember him going on like an insane streak.
no. My second answer was Isak, not Hoyland. I think it's Isak.
Okay. You think it's Isak?
Is Isak young enough? Fuck, I don't even know how old Isak is.
You guys tell me. You guys tell me.
Hey, my answer is Hoyland.
Wait, Isak's not young anymore either.
So your answer's
It has to be. He didn't even give us that many 21 under-year-old. Your four multiple choice answers are stupid. Hoyland is the
yeah, but
youngest.
you felt
You're
you
the one.
felt for
You're the one
Tina.
confused. What do you mean I'm stupid? You're the one who are like, oh, I don't know. And
Yeah. That's fair.
who is it? Who is it? Who do we say?
Yeah. Well, I don't
Okay,
remember
what
your
is
first.
Armand picking? Who is Armand picking?
I said Hoyland.
And Keon, you?
What was the other multiple choice? What was the fourth one you gave?
It was
Chris
Isak,
Wood.
Walker, Chris Wood. Yeah.
Chris Wood?
Wood.
Bro, no,
Okay, Kobe Mainu. What do you want? I got it.
it was definitely Hoyland. I forgot that he did well in the beginning of the season.
Yes, it was Hoyland. It was
Dude,
Hoyland.
Ollie
That
Watkins
feels
is
like so
28.
long ago. I like don't even
Dude,
remember that. I
Ollie
barely
Watkins
remember
is
that.
28 years old. I thought he was way younger. I thought he was
Do you guys want?
24.
Do you guys want a bonus
How
question?
was
A
he
bonus.
28? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Do you guys want a
let's
bonus
hear another
question?
bonus one.
A bonus
Yeah.
question, Arsenal themed question, and then we'll end the pod. Okay, bonus question.
All right.
Who
All
were
right,
the
all right, all right.
last? Who was the last team to beat Arsenal in the Premier League on New Year's Eve?
Oh, Fulham.
Okay, yeah, Armand got it. How'd you know? I thought
It
that was
was
a hard question.
it
Because
was
my New
this
Year's
season.
because my New Year's Eve was fucking ruined. I had the worst
Their
New
No,
Year's
I'm
December
Eve and
run
New
saying
was
Year's.
horrible.
I was saying before that, like the last team to do it before Fulham, and it was still Fulham.
Oh,
It was still like
was it the
it's a trick
first?
question. Yeah, it was a trick question.
I
So it
was
was Fulham.
I was gonna say my New that was like the worst New Year's of all time for other reasons outside of just Arsenal losing.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say because their
That
December
was
run
a
was literally the reason they didn't fucking win the league. Yeah,
it was Aston Villa lost. We tied Liverpool. That was an
Oh,
okay tie.
yeah.
Lost to West Ham and then lost to Fulham.
yeah, that's right. It
Okay.
was
Well, I
awful.
think it was a good pod, boys. Great job. I think next episode, probably not. I'm really waiting on the episode where we do our Prem predictions for the season. Prem is fast approaching, boys, and we're gonna have so much more to talk about after we get, you know, 10 matches every week. But Prem starts in what, 16 days or like 3 weeks?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like it starts on the 16th.
Yeah, so like
Yeah,
2 weeks from the end of this week when we're recording. But yeah, so I think in next episode or 2 episodes from now, we'll be doing our Prem predictions, and it's going to be good. But yeah, stay tuned. Follow us on the socials. They're down somewhere, wherever you're listening on Apple Podcasts, or if you're just watching clips on TikTok, I don't even know. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
you guys.